I live in Oxelösund, Sweden, and I was born 1989, and I'm a Christian. I am a Christian tall individual. I'm the target of a secret program, a persecution program called Gangstalked tall individuals. And I've been targeted with this for more than 10 years, more than a decade. The target started somewhere around 2012 noticeably, meaning I became aware that I was the target of a secret program worked to harass me and target me in different ways around 2012 somewhere, like roughly around 2012. And it's 2026 now. I got saved before I was 20 years old, and I'm 36 today. And I've been intensely persecuted. I'm the target of a secret persecution program called gang stalking. The former head of the Los Angeles FBI, Ted Gunderson, government whistleblower, Ted Gunderson, confirmed the gang stalking is real in a sworn affidavit, a legal document. And what is gang stalking? What is the type of gang stalking I'm talking with? Sometimes people talk about gang stalking, I mean like groups of bullies. I'm talking with state persecution. Gang stalking has government involvement. I've been targeted by Swedish police officers. The Swedish police force have been involved in the persecution. The Swedish police force has tried to unalive me before, I believe. And in short, it's like one way they look at it, try to take me out is that I've been convicted of carrying a weapon concealed before, a knife on me in public. And I'm outside walking down our well stream, doing activism, doing our well stream, get a word about gang stalking on videos. And then there's a car that pulls up next to me with tinted windows. This unmarked car, looks okay, tinted window car, pulls up, constant abrupt halt, two doors swing open, and two guys move toward me. And that looks to me like they were trying to make me think that I'm being jumped, pulled up on by people, hoping that I would have a weapon, pull it so they could pull the guns and shoot in broad daylight. That's what it looks like. Also, when I got sworn, I have to speak the truth about feeling abused by caregiving staff. And this one called Davo, and it looks like that to me. So I started talking about how it looks to me like even the caregiving staff has started targeting for the program. And the same people will discuss parallel crisis things with targeting for the program. He's mentally ill. And the police show up and eventually SWAT team. And it looks to me it's like really weird what they wrote in the records from outside. It's like he's wearing sunglasses to make a pepper spray not work. He's wearing a coat to make our tasers not work. So it looks like almost like they were planning to like go lethal on me and then prepare by. It's like why did he? If it's like a court case, why did he shoot the guy? Well, he was wearing things that made our non-lethal weapons not effective, so we went lethal on him, kinda. You're not crazy for suspecting that because everybody knows me, including the caregiving staff that called them and said I'm crazy. Everybody's been briefed, social workers, anybody, caregiving staff. It's like the first time they show up, a new staff member wearing sunglasses. The reason I wear sunglasses, I got autism sensitivities. Anybody that looked at my YouTube channel to any level will know that I wear sunglasses because I got sensitivities from my autism. And I live in a cold apartment. I wear a coat. I overdress. Whereas like Swedish cops over there have a seizure at my house. They wrote that the reason I wear sunglasses to make the pepper spray not work. And the reason I'm wearing like a coat is to make the tastes not work. It looks, the behavior would be common and fit with people like we're hoping to be able to shoot him and take him out this time. So let's kind of prepare to be like why we didn't even try using less lethal and went lethal on it. So what I support now, I do have the video on my Instagram, the reel of how the cops pull up on me, and I do count that as a murder attempt by the Swedish police force. We're trying to, in broad daylight, provoke a reaction in me to justify pulling the guns and shooting me. Because they approached me in a way that looks like they were trying to make me not realize it's the cops pulling up on me. And the part of context I've talked about on my YouTube channel before this, it's like this gang stalking persecution program has tried to take me out before covertly with a dart gun and poison and try to make me act. I won't be surprised they send hitmen to pull up on me when I'm in public all these days, stuff like this. Okay. And it's like people have also been saying, you look like I got PTSD and things in my chat. I'm not saying, but people have been saying it. There's like, so that's also part of context. There's like a guy that people say, so whatever, and get threats that people are gonna come get him all the time on social media and things. So it's like the cops pull up in a car with, and I don't know it's cops. It's like I'm outside walking down Rail Stream, tinted with a car pull up on me. It's like two guys kind of jump out and close the distance quickly. It's like, but it's like this close that I realize it's cops. I have to ask, like, is it the police? Okay. And so, yeah, okay. So I personally suspect that they were trying to provoke a reaction in me because I have been convicted for carrying a knife concealed in public, which is illegal in Sweden, which is very ridiculous. But it's like I've been caught with a knife on me in public before, which is illegal. So that's in the police records that I've been convicted of having a knife on me in public. They approached me in a way where it's like as if you're trying to pull up on a guy to make him. If I wanted to, like, if the cops were trying to get this guy to think he's about to get attacked by people right now, they're not cops. That's how you do it. Okay. It's like just tint the window, car, pull up, stop quickly, and then move towards the guy. That's how you approach somebody if you try to make them not realize he's a cop. Plainclothes police officers, so called like undercovers, were wearing like civilian clothing, civilian clothes in the windows. So I do count that as a murder attempt. I've also been harassed by the Swedish police on numerous occasions. So uh, I'm a target of state persecution, gang stalking, and this like a big part of this is like I'm looking to make the videos because I'm not counting on staying free and alive forever. Understand? With the way things have been happening and the way that things are affecting me, what's happening in my life, and what's happened before, like being sexually put in a psych ward for speaking the truth about crimes committed against me in this nation, and I get put in cuffs and put in a psych ward. Okay. And they didn't come to arrest the people that are working for the program harassing me in this city, so-called gang stalkers. So, anyways, the point. What is gang stalking? I call it government gang stalking because there's government involvement. And as I said before, so say now again, Ted Gunderson, former head of Center's background from gang stalking is real. So gang stalking is a secret persecution program. And this is like similar like I had when I used that analogy, like liking it. So if I had to use a disclaimer, this is like the He-Man tapes, like the Kill Dozer tapes, where only without like building a Kill Dozer plan to do something crazy. Meaning, in the sense that it's like I might end up dying one of these days from the target. They tried making accidents before. I've been shot with a CI heart attack on dart gun in the leg, or whatever the hell it was. I've had them put up a dentist to poke a hole in my tooth to give me tooth infection, which can lead to heart attacks and strokes. There have been some attempts to take me out by the program. I've been put in a psych ward for speaking the truth, okay? So it didn't take me pulling weapons on people and attacking somebody. It's just me ranting and raving online about how mad I am about being abused by people. Okay. And then I get put in cuffs and put in a psych ward. Okay. So if I based off of that, I'm not irrational by going like kind of half expect that and I'm going to prison or psych ward again. Because if I already went to psych ward by breaking the law just by talking about crimes done against me, why would I not expect that I might go to a psych ward or prison again without a good reason, as has happened before, something like that, and possibly for a longer time next time, and not be able to make more videos and talk about what's been happening. So my point is this: it's like if I end up dying or going to prison or a psych ward and then dying there because they underlined me there, like, oh, he underlined himself, or he had an accident or a natural health problem there, or something like this. I can't make more videos then. So here's the point too. Uh, wax a little bit philosophical and reflective. There's something that people have like despair, where it's like this the joy to live for this, okay. What is the point? It's like people on the deathbed were expected to die. A lot of times they will talk about how it affected them. So I had like this part of the experience was a mock execution effect, was like this is it. I've been threatened, they're gonna get me in a psych ward and unalive me there. Okay. So it's like I'm in here waiting for the shoe to drop that. How will they take me out of here? Okay. And it's like I came to I realized it's like this might be it, understand. I had to make peace with my impending doom, understand, and I made some kind of peace with it. So I went to the psych ward. I had been expecting this to talk about on YouTube. It's like I think it's like one of the risks is they work to get me inside of a psych ward. And if they get me in a psych ward, they might take me out and they make it look like I unalive myself or make me have an access for this. So when I went to the psych ward, I was kind of half expecting. It's like, this is shit. You gotta take me out of here. I'm not gonna get out of here alive. It's like I was about as much expecting as not expecting it. And it get to a point in time where it's like I was thinking, okay, game plan is out. Like, how might they try to take me out of here? Well, I guess they could wait until I fall asleep. Maybe drug my food like the last meal of the day. And then I'm like in a induced coma by the psych meds. And then they go and sneak into my room, almost at cell, and put like a noose and hang me up and be like, oh, we found the guy, he underlined himself in the psych ward. We didn't do anything. It was like Epstein or anything like that. Okay. And so what is the point? So for a while I was thinking, my plan is like, okay, sleep while I open. It's like I was contemplating. It's like I'm still alive, they didn't try to take me out yet. They might try when I go to sleep. Okay. So I was like, I'm for a while I think I stay awake and like watch the door. And then like be ready for when they're coming through the door and like go out swing and leave signs of a struggle to released. I just say make it at least harder for them to say that I alive myself in there. Because typically people unalive themselves, they'll have like a black eye or tooth knocked out, like defensive wounds and things like this, and like swollen knuckles from throwing punches or whatever. There'll be certain like signs of a struggle on my body if I get on my feet and start swinging. Okay, so it's like it's one way or another. So it's a point. Okay, so it's like that was my plan initially. It's like just fake sleep and wait for it to come through the door if that happens. And then it's like I'll go down swinging. Understand? So I'm not gonna go to sleep and then. So what is the point? Now I said my prayers. It's like I said, guys, I pray help me get out of here alive and stuff. And eventually, I made some peace with it. But I'm gonna have to sleep sooner or later here. So it's like I put in God's hand and gonna let go. And woke up the next day like surprised that I'm still alive. Like, yeah, surprised I'm still alive. They didn't take me out of my sleep. I was and yeah, so part of like a big part of my life is like movies. I'm a movie fan. Some people say I'm a different type of fan, like in the smear campaign, which is not true, but I'm a movie fan, confirmed. Okay, who knew that Michael Bolton was a major movie fan? Jack Sparrow. Okay, you can call me. What is that? Here's the point. So, uh, yeah. So part of it is like I actually do process reality partially through movie scenes. Okay, so art engages the soul, and Sudoku puzzles engages the intellect. Okay, and crosswords, whereas art engages the soul, the human soul, and like emotions and stuff like the feels. So, anyways, the point. Before this, jump back a little bit in the psych ward, and I'm kind of processing and kind of making peace with it. This might be the end of me. It's like this okay, this might be it. Like this is it. Like the mic's up here, well, this might be it. And there was a point in time where it's like I don't like this, understand? So I was not in denial, but I was kind of like not in acceptance yet. I had to like surrender to it. I was kind of like I'm not happy about this. I think they might try to take me out of here. And it's like how do I what do I do here? Eventually, I remembered a movie scene from No Country for Old Men, where it's the same scene, understand, as the experience I was going through. Where what's the guy's name? The guy that played Ensemble with Michael Cera, Woody Wilson, whatever it's called, Woodrow Wilson, whatever, Woody Harrelson. Okay, and he's a bounty hunter. Like he's some kind of detective, and then she girl got him a gun put in a hotel room, and then he's like he has the same kind of experience. It's like I'm pretty certain here to end up dead here. Okay, I'm in a situation where there's not that many options. It looks like I don't have much of a chance to get out of here alive. And then eventually he starts like bargaining, and he goes like, "You don't have to take me out, Chigurh. I could take the ATM, had 15 grand." And eventually Carson goes, Chigurh goes, "Know what's gonna happen? You're gonna die. You might as well just accept it. There would be more dignity in it." And that's part of how I was processing this. I mean, that's part of how I process reality at times in Hollywood movies. So that scene is kind of like I played in my mind. Oh yeah, just I make peace with it. So I said my prayers, and I got out there. So I had peace in there intermittently, and yeah, that's disgusting. So much like Marvin Heemeyer, the Heemeyer Killdozer tapes. That's a big part of what I do with my live streams. So, meaning, not that I'm planning to be like Killdozer on a rampage, but kind of like he made tapes about what he was mad about before he couldn't make tapes anymore. So in that way, it's similar. Understand? Because I feel a lot of times it's just a matter of time, is how I feel at times before I end up in prison or a psych ward. There's a program working to get me in prison or a psych ward, working to destabilize me psychologically and abuse me in ways that will make any man feel really upset. And what is the point? So part of it, as I was thinking that I might die in here, was kind of like feel like I could have done more videos. Should have done more videos. Okay, could have done. It would be good if I would have made more videos. Like a sense of unfinished business. It was like these things that I didn't get done, and I might be dead pretty soon. There's some things I would like to have gotten done. Okay, and so there was more like feel like I'm not happy about things that I could or should have done that I haven't gotten done. More so than regretting bad things that I had did. Not like, oh, I did this bad thing. It's more like these things that I should have done and could have done that I didn't get accomplished yet. That I could have gotten done. It would be good if I had more videos about what's been happening to me before. There's no more chance to talk about what's been happening to me before it's over. So, anyways, that was an ordeal, and I made it out. And the two good things that came out of that is that it confirmed that people have been lying about calling me a drug addict on YouTube, like a smear campaign. People lying saying I'm on drugs because the first night as I got admitted to the psycho, I had the viewers have no sense of drugs in my system. And it'd be a hard sell to say that, like smuggling like some kind of Whistinator fake dick in there with like a bottle of urine that I had gotten from somebody. And like when the SWAT team comes to get me, put me in cuffs and take to the psych ward. And then arrive at the psych ward, it's like I were able to smuggle something in, arriving in that way. Understand? It's like they don't really let people show up with like pocket knives and random stuff in the pocket to the cycle. And then it's like you have to take off your shoestrings, you can have a belt. And it's just like, why would it make sure you don't have a shoe? I had to remove the string from my earplugs, okay, because possibly you could hurt yourself or somebody else with it. So it's like, if they go through that, it's like, you can't have shoestrings or a belt or anything. It's like, you're in an environment where you can't have like a lighter that's loose in a smoking room. It's like a lighter that's chained to the floor, understand? So it's like you can't leave the smoking room with it. You can only be one person at a time in the smoking room. So it's like something that's like cement. It's either like chained to the floor or it's like it's molded into the table, the lighter type of stuff, understand? So in an environment like that, why would they take all these measures to keep you from having something to hurt yourself with? But it's like they forget to check your pocket so you didn't bring like a pocket knife with you into the psych ward. So if you can't like smuggle in a pocket knife, how could you smuggle in like a bottle of fake urine and a fake dick with a tube on it and stuff? So it's like, yeah, I've been prepared for the day. I've been a psycho, so I walked around prepared by like a taped device. No, so basically it's a quality urine sample. It's called a urine sample. It's quality proof to the contrary of claims that I've been on drugs all this time. So two good things that came out of that ordeal was uh, people have been lying and saying I'm on drugs. They were proven wrong. And also, people are saying that I'm a schizophrenic in my chat and parents schizophrenic. When I went to psych ward and got evaluated by psychologists that had a job to detect and therapize to deal with people who have mental health problems, they didn't say, well, this guy clearly is a parent schizophrenic, okay? This guy is a schizo and on drugs. They didn't say that. So I got tested for drugs, and the paper said no drugs in my system, the results. And the psychologist didn't say this guy's a parent schizophrenic. But people in my chat are saying I'm on drugs and a parent schizophrenic. A lot of people hate to say this. But anyway, the point. I've been horribly and wickedly abused. And I should make a video like this on another platform. So anyway, here's the point. Unfortunately, whatever. So here's the thing. I've been horribly and wickedly abused. My name is Mike Saar. I was born in 1989 and I live in Oxelösund, Sweden. I'm a part of Gangstalked videos, which is secret persecution for his brought to destroy my life and talk not only me but my entire family. Like Chuck Lambert talks about, the entire family is a part of it. This is tyranny, it's evil, and there's so many things to talk about. One of the things that also frustrate me is I probably could have been financially well off, like possibly even like rich if I take care of my loved ones and stuff better, if it hadn't been for this poor work to talk my finances, sabotage anything I'm starting to do or doing, and just cheating and rigging the game. And get used to the chat being turned off. You're not going to have a chance to run interference on machines anymore. At least not now. Not today, devil. It's the same rules. So, I've been talking about a secret persecution program called gangstalking. What is gangstalking? It's a secret program working to destroy people's lives. I've been talking for more than a decade. What are some of the most severe ways that I have been talking about? I've been shot in the right calf with a CIA dart gun or something similar by one of these perps. That's the way the program attacked me physically. I was in the corner store in this city. And one of these perps, I know it's one of these gang stalkers, so you get to go where I am on the regular. It's like a regular gang stalker where you, if you live in a small town, there's certain people that you know, it's like, here's a gang stalker. There's all these people that get sent out. Okay, it's like you know that they're a gang stalker. Guy walks past me and I feel something hit my right calf. I feel something impacted. Okay. And right after, meaning he walks past me, I'm paying for my stuff. He walks past me, it's like a dog can sucker punch. I'm standing there paying for my items. This is a guy that walks past me. As he walks past me, I can feel something hit my right calf, and he's holding something in his hand. And then right after I feel something hit my right calf, there's something radiating out of feeling from the place where I felt it hit my right calf. That feeling which I would describe as a numbness, itchiness, twitchiness, like muscle spasms, like twitchiness, like numbness, itchiness, twitchiness, spreading up and down from that place. So I do believe that was a dart gun that they hit me with or something similar. You can YouTube search CIA dart gun. It's not a wild stretch of the imagination for me to say that I believe that it was a covert weapon that the person had walked past me, hit the leg with it, and it put a poison into my body. Quite possibly a nerve toxin, whatever. No, which are one of these novel exotic toxins, possibly like intel agency type of stuff. Okay, the device itself has to be like high level, and the payload most likely is going to be the same. So, and this is more than 3 years after this happened, and I have a constant bad feeling in my right calf. So that led to permanent damage. Even if oh, somebody goes, Michael, I don't believe there was an assassination attempt that failed. Okay. Like there was an LD50 dose, but it had enough antidote in circulation when it hit you with it so you survived. I don't believe that. Still, they hit me with a weapon that caused permanent damage, decreased quality of life, very real damage to my body. So right now, I feel like a non-pressure type sensation in my right calf, and it's a constant feeling. I feel it all the time. It's like a pressure sensation, like a non-pressure feeling in the right calf, constantly. So I've been physically attacked by this bone. So this type of stuff that's happened to me that makes me say I've been sprayed with chemicals too. They use chemical warfare on me. This is a bore. Gangstalked is a fucking bore. It's not bullying, adult bullying. Okay, it's a bore. I can talk about psychological warfare. That's the narcissistic abuse and the covert, like button pushing and directed speech and everything else. It's a lot of psychological warfare, like harassment tactics. But it's also been chemical warfare and other physical attacks, try to make me have accidents. I do believe that they put up a dentist to poke a hole in my tooth on purpose a few years back, give me a tooth infection. That could lead to heart attacks and strokes. So I thought about this too. I do believe that I can sense it in my spirit, meaning I do believe that I'm incredibly valuable to God. The last 28 days, there's 45,000 something people reach my YouTube channel. I'm one of very few people that spends hours watching my YouTube every day, have the real gospel reaching thousands of people. And if I go to prison or die from the targeting, there'd be one less soul in this world, understand? I'm a person that goes live every day, spends hours live on YouTube. People find me because I'm live. They found a channel that has the faith-own gospel. One of few people are willing to put in the work to preach the gospel and spend hours a day that make people find your channel that has the gospel on it. Okay? So if I end up going to prison or a psych ward, first of all, people shouldn't count on me being a soul winner in there, understand? Do you understand? Like, yesterday I preached the gospel clearly in response to reproving a person doing it wrong, which means if there's 12,000 people or that tune into my live streams today, there's 12,000 people find a channel that the recent upload is the faithful gospel. Now, if I end up going to prison today or a psych ward, or like they take me out, 100% there's no like daily Mike Sar goes down to YouTube, having the real gospel, ends up preaching it. Okay, so I can sense it like on intuitive level sometimes that it's like my value and worth to God. There is very few people. It's less than 0.10% of YouTube channels. I don't know how many YouTube channels are. If it's millions or trillions, less than 0.10% of YouTubers have their faith on gospel somewhere on the channel, in a video or the about page or in a playlist on the channel. Okay, so I noticed that guy's neighbor's door is open. It smells perfume. So fuck that. That's the point. And yeah, it's gotten to a point where, and here's the thing too, I want people to know that if I end up really like losing, that never would have happened if it hadn't been for Christian churches participating in the Gangstalked program, Tons to Go, Wrestling Gone, or Andy Woods, and Ben and Hot House. That's really one of the things that have made me the most mad. Christian ministries targeted for this program, participating in the program, in the ways that they've been participating. So here's the point. Speak of perfume, I'm allergic to perfume. After I became allergic to perfume, the program started using perfume as a selective toxin, you might say. Doing things like release perfume in the stairwell before I leave and things like this. I've had packages intercepted in the mail and the program putting perfume inside of packages that I'm allergic to. I've been poisoned in other ways. I've been sprayed with chemicals. I've been shot in the leg with a dart gun, is what I think it was. I've had my loved ones attacked, and I've had loved ones attacked. So this is war. This I'm targeted with domestic terrorism. It's terrorism, is what it is. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if that will make God deal with some of these people more quickly. Meaning, it's like, do you understand? If all this torture leads to me being locked up in prison or a cycle, or losing my life from the torment, maybe then it's like God will know for sure. It's like, yeah, there's 100% that there's not going to be more gospel sharing from Mike. And maybe then it'll be like, well, God knows what brought to this point is like the cumulative damage from Christian ministries like to the Bible Church calling for the program, Raffink Arnold, uh, everybody's participating. Nice point. I'm a target of Gangstalked, which is a domestic terrorism program. They've targeted not just me physically, but my loved ones. Um, and they've attacked me physically and tried to take me out. I get targeted with psychological warfare. Big part of psychological warfare is, and this is how do the Bible Church taught me, communicate veiled threats there against my loved ones and things like this. So I have very little empathy for these people, understand? Do the Bible Church are domestic terrorism churches that participate in gang stalking. They like you work for a program, you're communicating veiled threats against a Christian man's loved ones that are gonna make my mother bleed and things like this. Okay. You should go listen to Andy Woods about reaping what you sow and things like this. I wouldn't count on God protecting you and your loved ones from harm. When you've been working for a program communicating veiled threats against me, work for a program that harasses me and targets me and my loved ones, and attacks me physically, works to make me feel unsafe and my loved ones unsafe and target me in all kinds of despicable ways, then it's like disgusting ways. So, and what they hide behind is their perception management games, which like, well, Mike's paranoid. Want to think I'm paranoid and crazy and on drugs and things like this. That's the point. A big part, a bulk of the talk is psychological warfare, but it's not only psychological warfare. But a big part of daily talk is so-called narcissistic dog whistling abuse tactics, where people get recruited to be so-called fly monkeys agents to put up the target for the program with covert abuse tactics. They target me with pushing buttons, using trigger words around me, sound veil gas lines, things like this. Which means I can get targeted in ways that it's hard for other people to tell I've been targeted. It's a sophisticated uh, program. So I do believe, I can't even tell what I do believe that I have the divine authority, like the founding fathers, to do, like hypothetically from an ethical, like as a philosophical discussion, where I believe that I have the moral authority and the right to do, like the full like moral authority and right to do to the Swedish state and any extension and proxy of the Swedish state, include what the Swedish police officers. I do believe that God, like in the eyes of God, it's like the founding fathers being treated like that, they had the right to do X, okay? Like draft up a constitution and speak out and things like this. So I do believe I have every right to speak out against this tyranny and this oppression and to resist it. 100%. And here's another thing, important thing. If you hear I got into some kind of altercation, you can counter the fact that the person I was in altercation with was abusing me right before the altercation transpired, or was a person that had told me for the problem before. And okay, and even if it would happen on camera, you might not be able to tell they were messing with me before I reacted to it, because you get targeted with covert abuse, covert aggression. So, unlike Reverend Arnold, I have been pure. Okay, I've been teaching salvation by faith alone since getting on YouTube. I didn't switch on that. Unlike Reverend Arnold, that claims to be faith alone, but sometimes he tells people to say a prayer to get saved. It sucks at giving the gospel. Just generally. And they don't have any control over me. I'm a free man. I choose what I do. They need the flying monkeys to believe that the people that put up the flying monkeys at Target, they need them to have that control the narrative and get them to believe lies and to keep them delusional, to get them to keep taking the words of Target the way they do. Lies are part of every Target's target. The program runs on lies. So I'm a Christian Target video. I'm targeted with state persecution in Sweden by the satanic, wicked, evil state. I'm the target of a secret phone called Gangstalked. And people can claim that I'm crazy for speaking the truth. Well, that's an opinion. You can't prove that I'm crazy. You can't prove that my testimony is the words of a madman. If somebody says I'm crazy for speaking the truth about being persecuted, that's just an opinion. There's nothing like Mike has been saying for years. This guy chip in his brain and hear voices, and then we took him to hospital, X-rayed him. There's no chip in his brain, so he's clearly delusional. There's no proof that I'm crazy. It's just an opinion. Anybody opines like this guy's nuts, you can't prove that what I'm saying is not happening. So, speaking of the neighbor's door being open, and like first I smelled perfume, which I'm allergic to. And speaking of neighbors, like a lot of times there'll be gang stalkers doing this in the apartment company. If you're totally watching this, you can count them being gang stalkers. As a matter of fact, when I read the logs, when the psych ward were, the SWAT team had like siege surrounding my apartment. Part of their plans was to breach through the neighbor's balcony. So I guess they were thinking they could just like hop over here, okay, boys, and just go through here and quickly be in my apartment from the neighbor's apartment. That was part of like the potential breaches that they were thinking to maybe enter by the neighbor's apartment. So anyway, support. And I won't be surprised if they're hoping that I will be, that they will be able to take me out. Okay, I'm not suicidal. I will never unalive myself. So if I go to psych with tell you I unalive myself, they took me out. Okay, I've never tried to unalive myself. I don't have unaliving ideations or stuff like this. I do have low risk aversion and courage, which means I engage in activities that are dangerous on the regular, and I have low risk aversion, which is this is part of not having super low T's. You're less cowardly and fearful, and less risk averse. So that's actually some of the personality changes of low T's. It makes you more fearful, cowardly, and more like scared of doing risky things. So anyway, that's the point. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised they're hoping to take me out there. This is a state program. Gangstalked Tornvidos is a state program. The Swedish government is involved in it. If you live in America, the government is involved in it. There's going to be counterintelligence agents, fake DIs. Most this is a controlled community. It's like 90% of information online about gang stalking is bullshit, misinfo, crazy talk. Meaning people lying about what gang stalking is. Fake problems. There's more fake problems active online. Can we tell that agents that work to cover up gang stalking with the crazy talk? Which I see so many people talk about gang stalking talk videos and talk about direct energy weapons and V2K machines and voices in your head and R&M and all this stuff. There's people that have a job to talk about gang stalking in a way that discredits the topic. And there's more fake TSF online than real TS. And it works on dumb people, they will hear. If they hear a Christian brother being persecuted, speaking the truth, they talk about secret porn called gang stalking. Man, this guy's nuts. I guess the guy Googles it and sees people talk about brain eating machines. He's like, oh yeah, much nuts. Okay. Like you search King James only if I'm buying them. This guy's nuts. Okay, King James only people, they're nuts. Anybody's King James only. You gotta do Christ to stay away from them. Okay, because a lot of the King James only people like Stephen Anderson that hates the Jews and has this in his prayer. Then you have Brian Denley being King James only, and Robert Baker's King James only. So I guess somebody, they Google King James only, they find all these nut jobs. It's just like, yeah, anybody's King James only, they're nuts, stay away from. Okay, because some people in that community are nuts. So anyway, here's the point. And it's really interesting to see just how complicit the other Christians have been in the persecution and destruction. This point wouldn't have been able to do what they were doing to me, to hurt my body and take my freedom and abuse me horribly, if it hadn't been for other Christians turning a blind eye and not lifting a finger to do anything to help out and just choosing to believe that I'm crazy when I'm speaking the truth and being cowards and being scared and as I said. So anyway, here's the point. I'm a target of state persecution in Sweden. I'm the target of the Swedish government by proxy. They have this gang stalking persecution program happening in this country. Gang stalking has government involvement for sure. And I've been told for more than a decade. And there's several people in this neighborhood are so-called gang stalkers. And in this city. I can't give an exact number, but if I were to guess and estimate, maybe out of 10,000 people in the city, there's 300 people are gang stalkers that work for the program. So I'm not gonna make more videos similar to this on other platforms to future-proof it as much as I can. Maybe I should make a list too on my website, Google website, with Christian ministries that we wanted against stalking. Do the Bible Church, Refuge Corner, Andy Woods, Brandon Holt House. Yeah, someone told in the video. And gang stalking is real. Just because I'm shadow banned and they work to hide my channel from people and keep getting too many views doesn't mean that I'm crazy. So I understand why these sellouts don't like me, because they're fucking weak data sellouts. People are all stolen and careful. It's like world is full with narcissistic psychopaths, dirtbags. Okay, and posting Buddha pictures on Instagram so doesn't make you a good person if you're covertly abusing Christians being persecuted by satanic psychopaths around Epstein Island. That posting Buddha pics about being spiritual on your Instagram doesn't make you a good person all of a sudden. Okay, not targeting people with covert abuse for the deep state. So I'm not joking. That's one of the crazy sounding things that are actually happening. It happens now and then that I subscribe to it's like a sports star on Instagram or a celebrity, and they post things that kind of line up with the target. So I'm a Christian target video talk with deep state persecution program. And it seems to me that it's easy for the deep state to get people to participate. Unfortunately, I'm rare in living like this. It's like, hey, deep state, Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what... Mike, shut up. Stop making videos about Gangstalked. Stop making... Do you understand? It's like, it seems that the average Christian pastor is a coward that doesn't dare to say no to these people and resist. It's like that most people, it seems that it's really easy for the deep state to get it to be an agent and start working for the satanic psychopathic deep state. Unfortunately. And I guess they're not strong in faith. People that come to God, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to say no to the deep state. They don't have the faith, the strength of faith that I've had to believe. It's like, you know what? I'm going to resist these people, and I'm not looking in the natural. I believe that God can help me stay alive. So I'm a Christian. I'm not going to live in fear of death. And even if the deep state want to take me out, if God wants me to stay alive, God can keep me alive. And if I perish, I perish. So here's the point. Yeah, I'm going to keep speaking up. And remember what I told you. Is if you're lazy and dumb, that's not my fault. Mike, I'm saying you're crazy because you're saying being targeted by the Bible Church, you've been targeted in their videos. So I didn't say fuck Mike Side video. It's called narcissistic dog whistling abuse tactics. Okay? It's what it's called. Covert targeting. Yeah, Rafik Garnes is shield sellout. He's on these pastors that target for the Gangstalked program. Dula Bible Church, they've targeted me for the program with narcissist dog abuse tactics in the videos. Brandon Holthouse and Andy Woods. And there's others too. So, unfortunately, there's Christian pastors that have sold out to the deep state and will have to target a Christian if they get told. Which means the raven is wolf in sheep's clothing. Some are Christian being persecuted. And if a pastor joins in on the persecution, that means they're a raven is wolf in sheep's clothing. Not spreading the flock. So I'm different in some ways. I didn't get vaccinated during COVID. I know a lot of you did. I don't have time to share my vaccine status. I didn't get vaccinated during COVID. As a matter of fact, I didn't get one vaccine since 2018. So, and I don't regret it. I don't regret not getting vaccinated. So, being gangstalked, every time I go outside in public, because people are sent to go where I am, so-called gangstalkers, that do other things to target me. And what there's like fucking cowards. Like they have to be in a group and target me covertly. It's like it's so cowardly in all kinds of ways. So they target me with covert, like sabotaging tactics, so it's impossible liable. And then they have to hide in a group. I walk fearlessly alone, even though that I'm surrounded by persecutors trying to take me out before. But these people are, they need to be in groups and talk to you in like covert ways that they can play the victim and do the awful games and be like, you're crazy. The big part of talking is designed to provoke you. And I've said it before, if you respond to covert aggression with reactive overt aggression, all people see is your aggression. And since they don't see the covert aggression that you're reacting overtly to, it's like you appear to be the aggressor to a lot of people. So. And the way that I see it, I do believe the Swedish state would prefer if they can get me institutionalized and unalive me with an accident or say that I had a medical problem or whatever, rather than have me stand trial and risk that I get to speak for myself. Do you understand? If I keep talking about what the Swedish police force have been doing to me, and one of them takes me to court for slander defamation for this, I'll be on a public record, give my side of the story with a stenographer and MP3 recording. They are fully requestable by the Swedish public after the court case. And that's like a paper trail. When my YouTube channel is speaking out, there could be a copy, they can turn off my YouTube channel, all my public speaker YouTube is gone, understand? But if it's a court case where it's written into public records, now that's harder to expunge, to remove. So from my perspective, it's looked to me as if they would rather have me die from the toll and end up institutionalized, and then they can take me out of an institution rather than having me stand trial. I think they prefer to just take me out than have me stand trial. So anyway, that's the point. I'm talking of gang stalking. And just because it's like the same time people think I'm crazy for speaking these truths. I guess you also believe the official story 9/11. Okay. In a training boxer, you get jabbed up regular and uppercut and hooked and you got punched drunk, and you think I'm crazy because I know the truth about 9/11 and gang stalking videos. Okay. So yeah, the house live like that work out for. So then there's another thing. Penguin sees a deep state show, so it's Asmongold. I've said it, that this is part of the control the masses. They control who the masses listen to. So I count both Penguin C and Asmongold as shells, Hassan Albert too. People are major influencers. Safe bet that they're shell, deep state shell. And this is Penguin C. He looks like a guy who doesn't have some goof juice in drink. Maybe he should spike it with some protein. Okay, he looks like a guy that's relevant to say that. That he's the type of guy that he might need to add some protein to whatever he's drinking, get a protein shake. Okay, he might have to get some protein shake, and he looks like he's really from too little protein, and he's the type of guy who looks to me like a guy. I understand that he's been getting understand in all kinds of ways. It's like, yeah. So he's like a good boy, I understand. He does what he's told. Me, I don't. There's a concept called dangerous freedom I've been doing. So I'm free, and my life has been dangerous with peril and dangerous in the city by the heat of my countrymen in perils, in bonds, feathers of iron shut up in the cycle for a day and a night. Okay, and I was let out up by a basket through the wall, but like the front door. Okay, and decides to apprehend me, put a garrison in the city. Decides to apprehend me, and I was hoisted up by a basket by the wall. So for this, so yeah. Anyways, the point. What culminated led to me abusive systems of control was work described in whistleblowers. So after I started whistleblowing by feeling taught by the past caregiver firm and voicing my opinion, I thought it could have been put up by the program to start talking for this program. It's like the same people go to the dollar camp, and it looks like they got this guy's parent the crazy things to messing with them okay, and end up putting cycles. That's the point. This is covert targeting. Gangstalked is real. And the reason you haven't heard about it is because the counterintelligence efforts have been working. But they have fake thought videos flooding online discourse about this. There's more fake thought videos talking about brain reading machines than real targets like Mike Sau, Chuck Langenberg. There are real targets speaking the truth about doing so. So so basically, if you hear I got into a confrontation with somebody in public or private, win, lose, or draw, I can tell ahead of time it was somebody was abusing me before that. Most likely covertly for the program. Okay. Which means if you hear I got into shouting match with somebody and ended up being locked up, the cycle again for screaming, you're purple, something like this. Okay. You can counter the fact that the person was superb, not leaving me alone before that on set. Okay. And yeah, so I've been taught it physically and vital ways. Spray with chemicals. To leave my home, I had to dress up in protective clothing to protect myself from dart gun attacks because I got permanent damage in my leg from being hit with what I suspect was a dart gun. I've been sprayed with chemicals. Well, but Mark, we're saying you're crazy. It's like, why are you proving that I'm crazy? Am I saying that it's what I'm saying that I see demon faces floating around and stuff like this? Like, but do you have any proof that I'm crazy? No, you can't fucking prove that what I'm saying is not happening. There is people at home with covert abuse. Okay. You can't prove that. You can't prove that it's not real. So, anyways, the point. Yeah, I'm a total gang stalker. One is gang stalking pastors in the woods. I was looking at him on camera. I said, he looks like the type of guy who's got a bigger capsize than his wife. I would be surprised if that's true. You know how truth hurts sometimes, Tom Seagal. Tom Seagal and the woods probably has a bigger capsize to get fitted for one of the wives. Sucks to be the wife and the man in that situation. Honestly. Yeah, I have muscles. I have chest muscles. So, yeah, I'm not gonna keep speaking out, and we'll see how things pan out. But I'm a total game stalker. I told you physically, and I have a right not to be abused. The final fathers have a right to be upset about being tyrannized and abused. I'm told tyranny and abuse is worse than what the final fathers were told by the British. So I have every right to be upset, mad about it. I don't care what they tell these people in the secret stalking murder course. I do the Bible church, not a Christian ministry to participate in gang stalking. I have been given due process and proven guilty of anything. Okay. I have been proven guilty to be a cannibal, murderer, and then the government go, yeah, you get sentenced to 10 years of gang stalking, totally or something like this. So, yeah, this is why they have to keep it secret because they be expose themselves as un-American tyrants, understand? Because true Americanism is founding father's constitution, right to due process, trial by your peers, vigorous defense. But if you're like a Christian pastor in America, you're like, oh yeah, I believe the government has the right to poison and try to murder people without getting a due process and proving the guilt or anything called a law. Just work to abuse them and target them and their loved ones with physical violence and daily harassment and terrorism and stuff. Okay, so I give you expose yourself as an un-American, sick freak, cult member weirdo, which why they had to hold these beliefs private and secret. So, Pastor Tom Seagal and others that are pastors, they have a false self, like a goody two shoes, fake nice guy persona, like a narcissist false self. It's like, yeah, I'm Tom Seagal, I care about the church, but it's like secretly he's a raving wolf. That me, a Christian, being taught with persecution, he will start to join in and help the satanic deep state, the target with covert psychological warfare. So, I'm a target video on gang stalked in Sweden, and I have a right not to be abused. So, if you had taught the video, they have people in the same apartment complex as you. If you live in a multi-story apartment complex, if you thought the video, listen to this. If you live in a multi-story apartment complex, you can count the fact there will be bare minimum one person in the same apartment complex, same like stairwell, same apartment complex as an agent. A lot of times it'd be same floor or wall to wall neighbors. Targets will come report getting same time entry exit from gang stalks in the neighborhood and directed conversations, things like this. So I have a Rumble channel, Critical Mass Mike on Rumble. I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram. Mike's89 on Instagram. I have a Rumble, Critical Mass Mike on Rumble. I have a Twitch account too. I think my handle is Mike's89 there too. And I'm gonna keep making videos, get the word out, and get my side of the story out. A person, Chuck Langenberg, where it's kind of like I picked up the torch and carried on his work. I've learned by looking at what he was doing things. Certain point in time, late year, Chuck Langenberg was a torn video, and last part of his life he has worked to expose Gangstalked. I believe he got murdered by the program. And back in his day, he was focused on freedom from covert harassment, FFCHS. Worked to expose them as a front, like a fake support group. Now, it's like a dime a dozen. If I search Facebook Gangstalked, it's gonna be counterintelligence agent, psyop groups with fake Todd videos posting about brain reading machines and chip implants. Understand? And that's more common than real Todd videos speaking the truth about gangstalking. And it's like it works. So I've explained this before, and this is more by experience than research. So perception match is the name of the game. So it's like one way to cover something up, and I'm making an analogy. Let's come up with a silly fake conspiracy. Let's say there was a real conspiracy in this world that the CIA was abducting hikers in National Park, disappearing them, and then like drug them up and subjecting it to like mind control experiments, stuff like this, torturing them. That was a real conspiracy. And it's like there's now and then some hikers, they will be like, get away and be like, yeah, I was taken by people and drugged up and tortured in a basement somewhere, and I think it was the CIA or something like this. There might be risky because it's too truthful over testimony of what happened. So one way to cover something up is to have people not talk about it and keep shutting people up or talk about the conspiracy you don't want people to wake up to. Another way to cover a conspiracy up is to have people talk about it in a way that discredits it by how they talk about it. Say. So it'd be like, if it was a real conspiracy that the CIA was abducting hikers in national parks and they like drug them up and torture them and stuff like this, and there were a few people that knew about it and were out here whistleblowing, they said we were about this getting exposed. One way to work to cover it up is like work to keep the people that speak out about it, not reach many people and tell them different ways, and work to shadow ban and what else can do. Another way to cover it up would be to have counterintelligence agent make YouTube videos. So yeah, there's a conspiracy the CIA abducts hikers in the woods. And they take them to Area 51 and show them the alien spaceships and put a chip in their brain, and then they start beaming voices into their heads. So these people hear voices all the time. Okay, see? And they'd be like, oh yeah, the type of people that talk about there's a conspiracy the CIA abducts people. The type of people think got a chip in their brain and they hear voices, aka paranoid schizophrenics with auditory hallucinations, like correlating with paranoid ideations. Okay, some conspiracy revolving around them, while also reporting auditory and or visual hallucinations. So it's that plus now about the paranoid schizophrenics, or type of people that talk about the CIA doing this type of things, like just nut jobs that claim that this is going on. So that is the point. That's how they operate. Meaning there's more fake Todd videos active online talk about gangstalking than real ones, speaking the truth. That's why I see so many people claim to be Todd videos posting comments on forum. Anywhere this is being talked about, they will send bot cyber stalkers to leave crazy talk comments. If I make a thread on core or Reddit, my experience with gangstalking in Sweden or something like this, they would send people in there, like sock puppet accounts. Yeah, I'm not told video in France. They put a chip in my brain. I hear voices 24/7. Like this. Okay, they'd be like, that's not real. That's a counterintelligence agent, like this info narrative. Okay, but no, Mike, it's real. V2K machines are used for total videos. So it's like there's more fake TS talk about brain reading machines being part of gang stalking and the flat earth and shapeshifter reptiles like Anthony Orion. In Vice's hit piece on Todd videos, there's a psyop, like propaganda hit piece that's designed to cover up gang stalking. similar to the New York Times article, they see gangs on Starbucks, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if the conspiracy gets more and more big, and it's like more and more word getting out there. Eventually, Voldis makes a video on it. There'd be like, guy in Wichita claims government put chip in his brain and interview like a government agent. He's like, yeah, so I'm a thought video, they put chip in my brain, I hear voices all the time. Okay, put your fingers in my mouth, bro, feel the chips, or something like this. Okay, see, it's like the guy in the Devices hit piece where it's like, say, put your finger in my mouth, understand? And then you can feel the chips in there, they put chips in my teeth, understand? Okay, and then he tells the interview to put his fingers in his mouth. He's just a crazy guy wants to get fingered by a camera crew or something. It's like they wouldn't dare to touch me with a 10-foot pole. It's gonna make like a 2.0 document device on 20 videos. They wouldn't dare to have me there. They had to edit it so hard. It'd be like 3 hours of raw material, me on camera talking to people. And it'd be hard to get me to stop talking once you get in the room with a microphone and camera there. And they'd be like editing it where it's like, it'd be like hater edits. It'd be like, they'll ask me, it's like, oh, you gay? Am I gay? And then they cut out am I, and they go, I am gay, or something like this, understand? Okay? It's like, for the documentary, understand? And they'd be edited like that. Okay? It's like, so part of Spear Camp is saying that I'm a pedophile. They cut out the first part and go like, Mike Sartorvido says, I'm a pedophile. They cut out the part. Well, I said it's like these people go out saying that I'm a pedophile, and they cut out the lead, like the first part of that. They go just me saying like I'm a pedophile. They cut that out. They go like, here's the Swedish Todd video. Let's hear what he's got to say. I'm a pedophile, okay? And they say I was in the documentary being interviewed for like 9 hours, like a whole day. It's like that's what they included in the documentary. Understand? It's like it's at that level. Understand? So it's like that's how little trust they have of the mainstream media being like valuable in exposing this conspiracy to the public. Understand? The media are complicit. So there's a reason if you're trying to find information about this, you'll see so much crazy talk because it's simple. A big part of how they cover this up is with crazy talk. It's like Alex Jones used to talk about that too, where it's like, yeah, this real conspiracy, and then they have people like David Icke out here with the Turn of the Punch Bowl, where he'll talk about all this real conspiracy, and he'll be like, yeah, by the shapeshifter space reptiles and stuff like this. Okay. That's how they operate. So here's the point. Yeah, Gangstalked is remote online yes or not. I do believe that when they put, when I got a tooth infection, I do believe that a dentist was put up to give me a tooth infection on purpose for pulling my tooth. I know that I got shot in the leg with something, some kind of cold weapon. And I suspect it was something like the CIA heart attack gun, dart gun. They try to make me a They used chemicals after I became allergic to perfume after many years of told me. They started using perfume to mess with me. So I'm in a war. I'm in a war. I don't know.